There's just a lot of fear in my energy field. Being back at home, it's brought up a lot of like this childhood paranoia and terror and perfectionism. And like the strong inner critic of like, oh, you better not do that, or something bad will happen, or it's just like this really overbearing and heavy fear energy that I've been really working with. And it's really hard to stay conscious through it and to see it and to not get identified with it and like kind of to play its game, right? And to not believe it. And I'm noticing myself doing a lot of little superstitious things that I haven't done in so long. You know, when I was a little kid, I was super OCD and superstitious and had to touch things a certain amount of times and had to spin a certain amount of times before I would go up to hit at the plate for Little League games. Could only touch things with certain fingers. Certain numbers were just off limits. Like a bunch of OCD type of behaviors that I was really attached to when I was a kid are kind of resurfacing in their own ways. And all of this is just rooted in fear. And with my ancestral lineage, a big part of it is like perfectionism. There's like a big inner critic in my ancestral lineage, a big repressive type of energy that says, you know, don't express fully, don't emote fully. It's almost like feeling back into my lineage, like we almost had to stay hardened and like really repressed almost for survival a long time ago. And it's like a lot of those patterns that once served or something rooted in fear of like, be careful, the enemy's coming, they're gonna get you, you have to like stay buttoned up, don't show too much emotion or something bad's gonna happen, or don't, you know, it's like a lot of those energies that maybe had served this lineage that I chose to descend into, and fuck, maybe I started this lineage, you know, as a soul, however long ago, and now I'm here really doing a lot of the cleaning up work of it, on the clearing out of a lot of these energies. So a lot of those type of fear-based energies and harsh inner critic stuff and paranoia and just that kind of stuff, it's kind of like just making its way through my body, you know, and not only am I at home visiting my parents, where a lot of this stuff obviously can be triggered up, but I'm in the town where a lot of my lineage is buried, where a lot of my lineage really, you know, whatever, what's that word, where people, you know, they pilgrim to, I don't know, the words are hard sometimes, guys, when you're going through a lot of energy alchemization, as you might know. So, you know, this is where a lot of my past ancestors, they lived their lives, where I'm at right now. And so, yeah, I can just feel a lot of this strong energy. I'm still like all hung up on, what was that word? Yeah, so it's just like a lot of density, a lot of terror to see through. That's really hard to see through. Just hopping on to make a video, it's like, to make this video, I have to speak directly to what's happening, directly to those energies. It's like these energies want to be liberated. I'm realizing they want to be seen, and they're like coming up through my body because they know they're going to be seen fully. And actually being at home is a really good thing right now, and it feels super important because I'm getting to liberate a lot of this stuff, which otherwise wouldn't be coming up as fully. And it's difficult, and I can feel overwhelmed at times, but I know how, like I said, I know how important it is, and it feels like there's a lot of meaning in it. And it feels bigger than just myself even. And I've been doing such a good job of staying in my power with these energies. Like, I've been checking my phone once a day, maybe. Like, I literally turn my phone on to post whatever I want to share that day, and then maybe check in here and there, and then it's back off. And I'm just being with these energies. I'm finding resource the best way I can. Like, I've reconnected to golf a little bit, which has been a nice break here and there. just hanging out with my parents, eating really good food with them. Like I said in the last video, we have this show that we really enjoy watching together. So I am finding good places for resource. And making these videos is really nice. It provides me more light, more presence for what I'm experiencing. And, you know, that's also super awesome and helpful. So yeah, it's been really fascinating to be with these kind of heavier fear energies. Again, as an adult with more of like this amplified awareness, we'll say. Because when I was a kid and these energies would come up, I was just swallowed up whole by them, and they would just run the show. They were just running me. I'm realizing it's kind of sad in some ways, but it's also just what happens. I'm realizing these really powerful, I don't want to give them too much credit, but just these heavy fear energies were running me as a child. And they were like whispering to me, like, if you don't touch this a certain way, you're going to die, or your whole family's going to die. And I was just believing them because I was this little kid, this innocent child. And these energies were a bit overwhelming for me back then. And even now, it's like sometimes I will give my power of belief to this fear. And I'm realizing, okay, you know, in the moment sometimes, as I'm giving my power of belief to these energies, I'm seeing myself do it. And I'm slowly being more and more able to make the choice to like not give my power to them. I'm like slowly taking my power back from all of these energies from my ancestral lineage that I've just basically have been embedded in my body, that I've inherited. And as I'm taking my power back from them, it's like these energies get to be dissolved. They get to be released for good. And the other thing I'm noticing is when I'm giving my power to them and I'm getting all identified with them, I'm noticing how I'm being kind to myself about it. Like, holy crap, it's okay that you're doing this silly superstitious thing right now. This is a lot of fear energy in your body. And it's just like being really kind to myself about it. And that helps to unravel ourselves from old patterns and, you know, just energies rooted in fear too. Is like just being nice to ourselves when we notice we're being overwhelmed by like this old ancestral energy strain rooted in fear. It's like, it's just, you know, it's just the process of unraveling ourselves from all this, from all these energies that don't serve and that we don't need anymore, right? And like I said, there was probably a reason it got created in the first place. And I think a lot of us here on Earth right now, we descended into some really dense ancestral lineages. And like, even if your childhood wasn't something that was like to write home about, that was the worst ever, it's like, look back in your ancestral lines. Like, you probably have this, you know, descended into a lineage that has some really dense stuff in it, and it's probably coming up and through you during these times right now. And so give yourself a break and know that it's not easy and that these energies are intense. And like I said, I've been not going to distraction very much at all. And these energies have felt really big in my body and really like, whoa. And part of me just wants to run. I just want to run so bad from these energies. And I might any day now. And that's okay too, to give ourselves resource in that way of like, okay, I went into it, to the center of it, to the center of the storm, so to speak. And like I am doing right now, and I transmuted and digested as much density and darkness as I could. And now it's like, sometimes we need to go back out, you know, out of the center of the storm a bit. And I might do that any day. And when I do go do that and take my next adventure, I have this really cool idea of how to share with you guys that I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, that's exciting when that happens. Like I said, anytime what I'm doing is I'm always just checking in with my heart, and I'm just being with my heart as much as I can, because this is the healer. The heart center is the transmuter. This is the major alchemist here. And I'm just doing my best to obey my own heart, the true heart, and be like, okay, what do you need, heart? You want to stay here another day? Or do you want to get in the car and drive somewhere? Or do you want to get on a plane? What do you need, heart? You know? And my heart's just been saying to me, here, just stay here a little longer. and basically just like, let's move through this. Let's alchemize as much of this density and ancestral darkness and shadow and trauma as, you know, let's do as much as we can, because my heart's telling me this is like super important work and we can do this. And my heart loves this. My heart loves coming forward and sharing with you guys, because it actually gives my heart like more support while it's kind of doing this processing. Yeah, these videos, they get really hard to post, because I have this, like I said, this really dense inner critic up from my lineage, and it's always telling me things have to be perfect. So to come onto a YouTube video when you're just feeling so much density and to try to be conscious about it and talk about it can be hard. So I try to just stay right with what's happening a lot and just keep it very real. Yeah. So that's where we are. And yeah, making these videos is just an act of self-love for me, for my own heart. Helps create some more space, brings in more light and more presence. And so I thank you for being here. I thank you for witnessing. I thank you for doing your own work in your own lineages, because a lot of these lineages, like I said, they're super dense and they've got a lot of darkness, and it's time for them to come to resolution. It's time for them to be healed, and, you know, completely. And so that we can start some new lineages, right? Rooted in unconditional love. Rooted in, we are worthy just for existing. But we don't need to accomplish something to be considered worthy. You know? Lots of shame. Lots of shame in this lineage. Lots of shame. That's a tough one. Shame, it kind of like, you can feel it all in your body sometimes, and that's what can lead to illness. It's one of the lowest, if not, David Hawkins will say it's the lowest vibrating energy there is. And I'm realizing in this lineage, there's just so much shame. Shame for almost existing, shame for even being alive, shame for even being on planet Earth. Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say learning this love and worthiness just for being here. And that's enough. I've had so much of this programming, I'm sure you can relate, where I have to become something more to receive love. And a lot of this type of stuff isn't even our beliefs. It's just old stuff. Of like trying to make up for the mistake of even being here. So much in my lineage I can feel is like, oh my gosh, there must be some kind of mistake for me to even be here. I'm so worthless. I'm such a piece of shit. I can almost feel that in this lineage, this type of energy quality. And what I'm trying to rewire, or what I'm trying to birth, is this new lineage where, oh my gosh, I'm a divine miracle. Not from a place of course, not from a place of arrogance or narcissism. I don't even need to say that. I don't think. But just like to see the divinity within me, to look in my own eyes every day in the mirror, or whenever I look in the mirror and see that, oh my gosh, there's so much divinity here. Like, I am a divine miracle. I was talking to the Divine Mother yesterday and just thanking her for this, you know, divine miracle of an existence that I am, that we all are. All right, that feels complete. Thanks for being here, guys. If you want to support me with some donations, that always feels really good. The Patreon page is still up. Lots of good content on there. Another great way to support me. Yeah, I do have good availability for sessions. If you're going through ancestral stuff and you just need some more presence for it, you just need some reflection of someone else who's going through it with you, just to hang out with. I'm here for that. Just to hang out with you. I'm here for that too. But I think that's it. And yeah, I'm just sending you all so much love. Thanks for being here. And until the next time, which should be soon. See y'all in the next video. Namaste.